Ooh. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Hiya, hiya. Oh boy. Hi, we're doing well. I just woke up from a nap to end all naps, and we're gonna see. Oh my God. Look at these numbers so far. Hello, Ashby. 38% of votes in. A lot can change, but also, okay. Mamdani's numbers are gonna look better today, okay? Just so you know, because younger voters dominated early voting. But I read earlier today that that Cuomo's gonna want an 8% lead today. So we're not gonna find out the results for like at least another week, if not longer, because of mail-ins and drop-offs and all that kind of stuff. However, and also because of ranked choice voting. But basically, I read somewhere that if Cuomo's gonna want at least an 8-point lead by the end of tonight to feel okay. But if it's like a 5-point or less lead, he's gonna be nervous. Basically, the assumption. This is the first stage. This just started. The polls just closed 5 minutes ago. Let me turn the news on. Let's see if we can get some Steve Kornacki up in here. So this is probably all the early. How much longer? Probably not too long. I mean, it's just a mayoral primary, so like, you know. And New York City gets results pretty quickly, relatively, I think. And it's just a city. Well, I guess it's not just the city. There's other things going on. No, but I think the only race people care about is the city. Okay. Oh, here's the latest. Ooh. I know. Oh, don't say that, Clout. I know he's gonna run it as an independent, but like, no, not yet. We're just 38% of votes in. We're probably not gonna get an actual result today, guys, because of ranked choice votes and because of mail-in votes and stuff. Cuomo's going to want to end the night with at least an 8-point lead. Oh man, we could have gone to a coffee shop in Queens to hang out with Zaran tonight to watch results. All right, MSNBC. Okay, whatever. I mean, he's barely a Democrat. He runs as a Democrat, but he literally puts the like the Republican Party in more power. He rigged the legislature. He basically worked to create this like coalition between Republicans and like independent, like Dems, basically Dems that ran as Dems and were actually just Republicans. And just once they won, we're like, just kidding. I don't like Dems. And he basically created a coalition between them so that he could basically get the Republican agenda passed and enacted and stuff while pretending to fight for the Democrat one. And he could like, yeah, I agree, Deja. Exactly, Ray. I don't know, Giuseppe. I'm really hoping for Mamdani. If I had to bet $1 million, unfortunately, Cuomo probably. But I have really high hopes for Mamdani. Betting odds right now have it for Cuomo. Oh, sorry, YouTube. Okay. Thank you, Kelsey. We're still waiting. We're at 38% reporting. God, I hope. Hello, Hassan. Hello, Alex. Oh, we just got a new drop. Okay. So Mamdani went down 0.1%, or like lost 0.1% of his lead. Just another 1% of votes came in. Just another 1%. Thank you, Deja. Oh my God. Wait. Is that? Yeah. Get Deja. What's going on right now? Like in general, this is the New York City Mayoral Primary for Democratic Mayoral Primary. I don't even know. I think technically Republicans had a primary. They did, but no one gives a fuck. Everyone runs as a Dem in New York City, which is annoying because that means that you end up with Republicans running as Dems. Case in point, Cuomo. I hope so too, Hassan. At the very least, I want someone trying. You know what I mean? What I don't like is people being like, oh, like, he's never going to be able to make that happen. Or like, oh, you know, it's just like, well, I want someone to start from the position of trying. Yeah, he's one guy. He's one guy in government. And like the New York City mayor has like an inordinate amount of power for like the executive in a city that should also have like, basically where the city council should have like more powers and stuff, but still he's one guy. Do I think he's gonna like fix the city in 2 years? Literally 2 years he's gonna fix the city? No, obviously not, but at least I like the idea that he's gonna try some new stuff. What has Cuomo done? I have a 10-minute video talking about everything that man has done. Well, not even everything, but a lot of it. Thank you, Rox. Me too. Bad things. Oh, yeah. Just bad things. To everyone. Exactly. I hope so. That'd be nice. Rick. That's the thing. He hasn't just done terrible things to women. He's done terrible things to everyone. He's definitely done terrible things to women. But he's also just done terrible things, including Dems, including the Democrat Party, which is wild. You know what I mean? He literally, I was just talking about this, but he basically he made it so far, yeah, these are mostly, this is what I was saying, it's mostly before election day. So yes, they're also expected to be relatively stronger for Zoran than the overall vote. God, look at him. What a cutie patootie. What a cutie patootie. This is about the mayors. Yeah, the mayoral primary. He is leading, but these are early. Oh my God. Thank you, Germany. What's up, Mirza? This is this is just New York news touch. Except it should be global also. Sorry, I don't mean to scare you. Yeah, sorry. So, I'm sorry. I literally woke up now 30 minutes ago. But I woke up like 15 minutes before going live, basically. Yeah, I agree, Moo. And I was just saying, like, is it we won't know the results till July? Yeah, so we probably won't get final results tonight unless someone crosses the 50% threshold, which is not. No, guys, this is early voting. This is super early voting, which is going to favor Zoran because mostly younger people showed up during early voting. Today it was expected to be, and mail-ins. So mail-ins will take another week. Oh, thank you. Will take another week to be counted and stuff. At least. I know I might crash out if he doesn't win either, even though I know that, it's not exactly guaranteed. Yeah. So expect Mamdani's lead to shrink over the course of the evening. This shouldn't take too long. Let's see, 2 more updates. Early results. Third place with roughly 13%. So what's cool is, what's really, really cool is that a lot of Brad Lander number ones. So we have ranked choice voting, right? We have ranked choice voting. Thank you, Esther. We have someone from Germany in here rooting for him as well. I can't believe the support that everyone is like given in other cities and countries and stuff for him. Mamdani's ahead. Don't get too excited. This is very early. These are early votes being counted, and they were going to favor Mamdani. Okay? Yeah. Support is more split in Manhattan. So far, it's mostly ballots that were cast early and by mail. And again, we're not going to get through all of them today. But so what's interesting is you got to also watch the percentage here. So Brad Lander and Mamdani cross-endorsed each other. So what that means, really? Oh my God, Eru, thank you. Okay. So Yes, again, so Cuomo is plus 0.3 on his lead or on his percentage of the vote. His number is going to creep up, okay? We can't panic. Don't panic, my loves, all right? Don't panic, my darlings. Hi, animal. His numbers will go up. It's okay. You're from Spain? Hola. Soy madrileña. This is a live update with actual numbers. Yes, this is live. 40% of votes in from AP. Oh, we should also open this one, actually. What? Let's open up AP. AP Mayoral Primary. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you for getting me back on track. Live results. So I guess is the AP. There we go. I usually use AP. We should support AP more. But I like the map. Oh, I like this map too. Uncounted votes. Okay. All right. So far it looks like the most uncounted votes are coming in from Brooklyn, which is going to probably favor Mamdani a bit more. I didn't vote for Cuomo. Who the fuck voted for Cuomo? So the final result, so this again, okay, sorry, thank you. What was I saying about Brad Lander? This is part of this. The final result may not come in today. It's very likely we'll have to wait at least a week, if not longer. New York City has ranked choice voting for its primaries, okay? Unfortunately not for its generals, and I don't know why. It should definitely have it for its generals also, but whatever. So, which means, so the first candidate to get to 50% wins, right? But what ranked choice voting is, una semana. This is, but only if necessary, because also, they're also going to be counting mail-in ballots. You know what I mean? Mail-in ballots have like a week to come in. I don't know how many days exactly. And drop-off ballots and stuff. So it could take a little bit longer. And yeah, they're going to count. So the way it works is you get 5 slots on your ranked choice ballot, okay? So you get to vote. Let me get my whiteboard. You get to vote like number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Yes. And it's far more democratic than just basic, like, you only get one choice. Because that means, like, when you only have one choice, you, basically, you have to start thinking, like, okay, but, like, electability, right? Or, like, oh, let's say you're a Jill Stein voter. There's this idea, like without ranked choice voting, if you vote for Jill Stein, but your second favorite, let's say, is the Dems, and you know for a fact that Jill Stein will never fucking win, technically it's like a throwaway vote for many reasons, you know? And I say this as an idiot who voted for Jill Stein many, many moons ago, not this election, okay? Like 8 years ago, okay? As a protest in a solidly blue state. Don't come at me. And it's also what means that I can be the number one person and say, don't fucking vote for her. No one can be mad at me. None of the Jill Stein voters, because I used to. Anyway, so ranked choice voting, yes, ranked choice voting, that's a very concise way of putting it, helps avoid the lesser of two evils throwaway third-party scenario. Great way of putting it. Zoran is ahead, but that is to be expected. These are all early ballots for the most part that have been counted, okay? Ballots counted, uncounted votes. So this is good, dude. This is really, really good because Staten Island is super Republican. So, of course, they're going heavy for Cuomo, or largely for Cuomo. It's not dark purple. And then the Bronx is also going more heavily for Cuomo. And those are the two that have the least amount of votes left to count. These three, the ratio will narrow. Again, don't panic. Mamdani will lose his lead probably. Sorry, I keep getting distracted. I just woke up. I'm sorry. Okay, so the ranked choice voting thing is like, yeah, so let's say that you all vote for your first place candidate, right? And say your first place candidate was Brad Lander. Or actually, this is where it gets fucking wonky. Where I don't know where they start. I guess they start from, they count the second place vote. They count everyone's second place votes, right? So for the first round, no one made it across the 50% threshold. Then they go and they count everyone's second place votes, right? And then they tally those up. So I voted for Zoran, number 1, and I voted for Brad Lander, number 2. They cross-endorsed each other, basically saying, hey, if you're going to rank me, like basically Zoran was like, if you're going to rank me number 1, you should vote this guy number 2. And Brad Lander said the same thing, like, hey, if you're going to vote me for number 1, you should vote for this guy number 2. This is what's so cool about ranked choice voting, right? You end up like just, with candidates that can be close on some things, but like, not have the exact same platform because they, whatever, they like disagree on 1, 2, whatever, it doesn't matter. But they can basically, no, they only count second place of those ballots that had the lowest person in the one. Oh, it's the lowest person in their number 1 spot. Okay. That's weird though. Whatever. Because then all of a sudden, it's the people who chose the losing candidates that have more power. That's where the math gets a little funky for me. It's giving, do you want to form an alliance with me? 100%. And also, like, it results in some cool stuff too, where like Zoran, when he reached his fundraising maximum, he raised like the most he was like allowed to raise in a certain, during the thing. He was like, hey, if you were going to donate to me, you can't do that anymore. So you should donate to Jessica Ramos. And she turned out to be a bit of a snake. So, screw Jessica Ramos. But he was like, I think it was Jessica Ramos that he said that. I think he threw her a bone. It's possible he actually said that for Adrienne Adams. Maybe he said it for Adrienne Adams. Sorry. Jessica Ramos turned out to be a very big disappointment. She was a progressive. She ran on a very progressive platform, but then she ended up endorsing Cuomo after like shit talking him tons. Which she should have, because what a terrible human he is. But yeah, it was just like a very thing. And then he didn't end up endorsing her. Cuomo didn't end up endorsing her at all. But so actually, I think it was Adrienne Adams. It might have been Adrienne. So apologies. I could look this up. When he reached his fundraising maximum, he said, hey, if you're going to donate to me, actually just donate to Adrienne Adams. She needs it. So this is based on the first round. I'm going to look up which ballots get counted in the second round, because that's the one thing. Oops. It depends. So this first round, it depends if on this first round any candidate makes it to the 50% threshold. Let's flip to the New York Times one. They make it a little bit easier to see. But they're getting their numbers from AP. Brooklyn. Damn. So anyway, so the good thing is, like, since we know Brad Lander, oh man, he's dropping. He had 13 earlier. Since we know Brad Lander and Zoran cross-endorsed each other, there's like a good chance that a significant chunk of Brad Lander votes would go towards Zoran on the second round. They're still in the first round. Still in the first round. If no one gets to the threshold, the next round of counting is in a week, which is like, I don't know why they do it that way. Do it tomorrow. 10 p.m. Most results should be counted. Yeah, that makes sense. Did he drop 0.1? He might have dropped 0.1. Here. I agree, Arrow. Okay, let's see. The threshold is 50% of the vote. You need an actual majority. When do you think we'll know? Probably won't know today. So those will also be counted over the course. Ooh. This is a very strong start. Very strong start for Mamdani. Again, early days or early votes, very heavily going to favor Mamdani. But this is a strong lead. The rest of the state of New York, yes. I don't know why. I feel like, oh, do you want to see how the Republicans are doing? Do they even fucking run anyone? Go away. Oh, here we go. If no candidate receives a majority first choice votes, ranked choice voting comes into play. Candidates with the fewest votes will be eliminated, and their votes will be redistributed to the candidates listed second on those ballots. Voters can rank up to 5 candidates. So, yeah, the bad thing is but I don't, yeah, that's the one thing that trips me up about ranked choice voting. I get it because, like, if Brad Lander is still in the running, then you preserve his votes, right? And then you redistribute the ones that they're definitely going to lose. So those people's votes are not actually going to be counted. So you redistribute there. But, like, at that point, why not redistribute all of them by the end? You know what I mean? Yeah, I know. Brad Lander, but that's the thing. But let's say, so this is my point. If in the first round no one clears 50%, they take the candidates with the lowest number of votes. And I don't know which ones technically. I guess technically they have to, there's like the calculation of like if it was more evenly distributed, like, oh, who could still be in the running? But if they only take like these, let's say, right? Like Whitney Tilson, their number 2 are likely going to go to Cuomo, for example, right? So that would like redistribute all of these, for example, let's just say. And like a bunch of these would go towards Cuomo. But technically, if there's like more people who their second choice is Brad Lander, you know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? He's an artist. I think it's performance art. Yeah, the polls closed around 30 minutes ago. I'm saying that they only end up counting the second choice for the people with the lowest. Thank you, Obi-Wan. CGP Gray. Okay, I'll write that down. He's been running for years, really? For everyone, just start with the lowest and work the way up. Okay. Okay. 70% already in. Damn. This is very, very exciting. Very exciting. Damn. Some of them will, Robert. Ooh. Yeah, I think yes, Rosito. So I saw one prediction. Again, mail-ins, a lot of mail-ins are gonna be old people. A lot of votes today are gonna be older people. His lead is expected to shrink heavily today, but the fact that we're at 70% and he's still up. Okay, so like the point is, like, betting sites are favoring Mamdani now, really? Because earlier tonight, right before polls closed, the betting odds flipped towards Cuomo. My booze here. One sec. Oh my God. This is New York primary, Democratic primary. It's a big one. They flipped right back directly after? Damn. So it depends. If either one of these candidates makes it to 50% by tonight, it'll be done. If not, we have to wait at least another week. Hi. Mamdani only needs 7% for second choice, but Cuomo needs 15. Yeah. This is ranked choice voting. This is a huge start. Again, so before results came in, I saw one analysis saying that Cuomo will be worried if he only has like a 5-point lead today. Like, it was assuming Cuomo was going to end the night leading. We're still assuming that. Let's just assume that. So, you know what I mean? So we don't get 70% votes in. Thank you. Blue for Dems. Thank you. New York does ranked choice voting for primaries. Thank you. Oh my God. Nice and melty. Yeah, ranked choice is basically you get to. We were just talking about the math. It's a little melty.
I didn't have it in my bag for long.
I know, but we're in a heat. Huh? We're in a heat wave. It's a little soft. I'm not complaining. I was just saying. I was gonna let it sit for a bit. So basically, how long? It'll probably be done by 10 p.m. 71% of votes in. This is because it's just small. Oh, someone asked to see the rest of New York State. I'm not sure. Is no one else? I don't know. No one's showing the other. Sorry. Oh, I guess select a county. Oh, no, but this is still everyone's uncounted votes. Damn. Bronx and No, what is that? What's happening? Sponges. Thank you. Why is the Bronx Cuomo? It's a little melty. Can you stick this in the fridge for me, please?
Alexa, why is Bronx Cuomo?
Well, he has stronger support among Black voters. Hispanic voters, I think, as well. Yeah, Hispanic as well. No, it's just he has really strong support among Black and Latino voters and Jewish voters who aren't as much in the Bronx, but yeah, Puerto Rican. 77% of votes in, and he's still climbing. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, Cuomo has been in the lead this whole time. Unfortunately, which is depressing. We want Mamdani to win. Well, most trackers are using AP results. So I have AP open. Like AP is just like the straight, but New York Times has the better like visualization. Thank you. Wow. Oh my God, it's all just like snackies. Like, thank you. I prefer progressives over anyone else. Who's forcing anything on anyone, Ben? Yeah, Jack. That's what I've been saying. So early voting would absolutely like favors Mamdani. However, we're at 77% of votes in now. I would have expected his lead to shrink considerably by now. No, Giuseppe. Yeah, he has to get at least 50%. There's no runoff. We do ranked choice voting in the primaries. So it's basically almost like a built-in runoff. Damn, Cuomo. Ooh. Establishment Dems are going to lose their fucking shit. Okay. There's also mail-in votes. So, ranked choice voting basically is we got 5 slots and we got to order. We got to say first choice, second choice, third choice, fourth choice, fifth choice. Okay? They used to call it instant runoff. Oh, cool. So if no one gets to 50%, they're going to go to all the candidates with the like lowest amount of votes. So like Selma's not going to win. Paperboy's not going to win. Michael Blake, Jessica Ramos, Whitney Tilson, Zellner Myrie, Scott Stringer, Adrian Adams. None of them are going to win, right? At this point, it's very clear. So they will basically remove their votes and they will look at the second choice, and Brad Lander probably as well. They'll probably do all of them, but they'll basically take all of these and be like, okay, your candidate is obviously not going to vote or not going to win. So we're going to look at your second choice, right? And then they go in and they put in the second choice, their second choice. They reallocate them according, to wherever, whoever they voted for. Yeah, right, Carrie? Maybe. Mamdani is winning, which is odd. He was expected to do better today. But 400 plus 400 surprise super delegates to Eric Adams. Classic. Yeah. Classic. That Curtis guy runs every time. Yeah. I think second round for sure at this rate. Here's the thing. Brad Lander and Zoran Mamdani cross-endorsed each other. And this is what's so cool about ranked choice voting. Again, like, they have really close platforms and beliefs. They're not the exact same person. Obviously, they have different experience, whatever. But they agree on, like, most of the stuff. So they basically came out cross-endorsed and they said, hey, like, basically Zoran was like, hey, if I'm your number one vote, consider making Brad Lander your number two vote. And Brad Lander did the same thing. He said, hey, if I'm your number one vote, considering putting Zoran as your number two vote. I think they just upped. 81%. Oh my God. Oh my God. I think Paperboy runs as like performance art. It was. Eru, I agree. Okay. I have to film a little thing real quickly. He doesn't like run or campaign or anything like that. This is the primary. Oh my God. Okay. Polls have closed. 81% of the votes have been counted so far. Man. Oh my God. Oh my God. Socialism isn't communism. Genius. It will probably be counted within the next week. Most Landers voters would go to Zoran. Now, also, a lot of mail-in votes that have not yet arrived, a lot of those will probably go to Cuomo. Okay? Yeah, they expected Zoran's lead to lessen. I know, it's wild. I think so, Hal. Okay, I'm going to have to make a little TikTok. Oh my God. I've only ever done this like once, like filming a video like on live where you guys can see. Don't judge me. It's so embarrassing. So embarrassing. It's unclear, but just we can see that like based on... It's unclear. Oh my God! The primary is over. I mean, but the counting is not. Oh my God. Oh my God. Well, they should. Cuomo literally, yeah.
Is there a news thing going on that are tracking it?
Yeah, I've got New York Times up. If you mean TV
I'm
news.
saying, like on TV.
No, not so far. I put on MSNBC, but not really. It really depends, user. Oh, thank you guys. Cuomo's been in the lead most of the time. 82%. 82%. Oh my God. Okay. So, I gotta film a little TikTok real quick. Don't judge me, guys. Don't judge me too bad.
If he wins, I want to send an email to my landlord.
What are you gonna send to your landlord? Can you hear me?
Just want to congratulate you.
Just want to congratulate you on having your profits frozen. But you're not. No, you don't have. You don't have stabilized rent or rent control.
Yeah, but they're all gonna suffer. I think. And I mean, it's a big company, so I'm sure they do own some buildings that have.
Even if every single vote so far. 84% of votes in. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, I want to congratulate you for spending millions and millions of dollars. That's honestly, I was thinking about that. I was like, at the very least, I'm very satisfied that all of these fucking billionaires and rich people just spent millions of dollars to elect Cuomo. Should be expensive. I know. Settle down. I'm an adult. I have to calm down. 8 million from Bloomberg alone. I think that's right. Yeah. Let me just do this. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's edamame technically. So sorry. Oh wait, let me fucking.
I should just bring my frozen one because they literally make it out of the bag like I do.
Do they really?
Mm-hmm.
Yours is better with your flavoring.
I know.
Okay. Oh my god. Okay, I gotta do. Riz, chill. The 2028 implications. We absolutely can. Okay, wait. I have to make a little TikTok. Don't judge me too bad. What should I say? What should I say? Okay, I'm gonna say. Okay, we have 84% of votes coming in with Zohran Mamdani at 43.7% reporting, which is much higher than expected. His lead was expected to be down by now. We can absolutely get excited. Okay, mayoral. I'm sorry, guys. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. I'm gonna. This might take a couple of things. Okay. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Polls have been closed for 50 minutes. How do I start my videos usually? Oh my god, everything's out of my mind. New York City mayoral results. Okay. Polls have been.
Instead of oh no, you should be like oh yeah.
No. Maybe if he wins. I don't want to like jinx it too much. Okay. We do need progressives. Okay. Most of Staten Island is counted so far. Okay. It's okay. So New York City polls closed 50 minutes ago, and results are being counted. We've got 84% of votes in so far, with Zohran Mamdani at 43.7% in the lead. Cuomo is at 35.9, and Brad Lander is at 11.6. At this point, it was expected that Zohran's lead would be gone, that he would fall behind Cuomo at some point, like by now. Early votes were going to favor Mamdani because early voters were largely younger, millennials and whatnot. If you can call millennials younger. I don't know if we're still allowed to say that. But it was, But it was expected that as the night went on and more of the votes were counted, that basically he would fall below Cuomo. I saw one analyst say that it would be a very good night for Zohran if he was only 5 points behind Cuomo by the end of the night, and that it would be a good night for Cuomo if Cuomo was at least 8 points ahead by the end of the night. So far, Cuomo is 13 points. What is that? 43.6. No, now is 36. Wait, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 7.5. So far, Zohran is leading by 7.5 points right now. The counties with most, it just updated to 86% votes counted. 7.5%, yeah. No, it is. Math is my strong suit. I woke up right before going live. Sorry, my fucking brain is like absolute garbage right now. If it seems like 86% of votes. We'll do a little investigation. Ooh, just updated again. Okay. If no one crosses the 50% threshold today, they will go to counting if no one crosses the 50% threshold today, they still have mail-in votes coming in over the next few days to count, as well as the second round of votes in the ranked choice vote, which would happen a week from today. But this is very, very exciting. It's a very strong start for Mamdani. Yeah, I think so. Wait, okay. And again, Brad Lander right now is at 11.5%, and his second choice, and again, Brad Lander is at 11.5 right now. And thanks to his and Mamdani's cross endorsements, it's very likely that a majority of his voters would go to Mamdani as their second choice. Take that, establishment Dems. Oh my God. Yeah, Staten Island is... Oh, and let me just do this one last thing. By the way, we're live streaming the results right now. Say hi, everyone. Okay. You guys are cute. Okay. Oh my God. This goes out. Okay. Does anyone want to hop on voice with me? Anyone else want to hop on voice so I can edit this real quickly? Uppies? Yeah, also, you want to come up? You want uppies? Oh, we got Kate. Oh, Kate, yeah, and Jordan. I'm not sure who these people are. Oslo, are you a mod yet? Hi, Oslo.
Hi, don't mind me. I have my hands full.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Brenna. I was just going to tell you guys really quick. I've been sitting here frantically doing math, and so far, even if all the votes that aren't Lander, all of them, go to Cuomo, Cuomo will still only be at 44.8%.
Hi guys, I'm Jordan. I'm from San Francisco. I'm excited to see
Jordan.
you guys are excited. I just wanted to know how you got your live stream set up to be this way. How do you have the screen on top? And I'm trying to get into TikTok live streaming as well in San Francisco,
OBS.
Okay, and then it's pretty intuitive from there, or?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta look up some tutorials on how to set. I think it's pretty intuitive, but also my original career is in film and TV, so I was very familiar with just basic stuff like that. But OBS will do it. You need the computer. Mm-hmm. You need TikTok Studio, Live Studio on your computer, which they only allow you to do if you meet a certain threshold of viewership and stuff like that. But
okay, I'll check that out. I'm at 16,000 followers, but my viewers on live are a bit lower.
I think with 16,000, I don't know if it's a follower count or what. Or
No,
if
it's 10. I think it's 10,000 and above.
Okay, and that gets you Live Studio.
Yeah, I mean, I don't ever remember seeing not seeing it.
All right.
But you can download it. But it's only for PC, not for Macs.
Yeah, that's the annoying thing.
Can we hope core for a second about what it would mean
Please.
for the Democratic establishment if Mamdani wins?
Please.
Dude.
All right, thank you, Jordan. Mods also. Wait, do we have any mods in here right now? God, I wanna. Oslo's an old friend of mine. I've known Oslo since he was born. I saw him when he was brought home from the hospital. Isn't that right?
Was a little baby monster.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cute.
I saw. Yeah. Oslo, you got some. You got some fans in the chat who I was gonna say a marriage proposal in the chat. Guys, follow Oslo. Oslo's great.
We're a big family here at the Oslo. We're a big family.
We are.
Lots of people want fun, positive stuff, and that's what this is tonight. Hopefully, Come on, Mom Donnie, let's go.
Let's go.
Hey, also,
Progressives being joyful and positive, but also not taking any shit.
exactly. Okay, wait. I gotta post this. Also, do you want to lead the charge, Kate? You have some. You have some Hope Core to talk about. I'm gonna mute myself and I'm gonna edit real quick. Okay.
Yeah, Kate, go ahead.
Thank you guys.
I just wanted to hear. Also, I would love to hear your thoughts about what a Mamdani win would mean. Like, do you think that it would force the Democratic establishment into a reckoning about how they've been, like, their tendency to move further right versus embracing progressives? What are your thoughts?
Oh, I think this will definitely inform, 2026. And I think that this combined with what happens next November in Virginia, which is Virginia always votes for their governor a year after the presidency, and no Virginia governor can serve 2 consecutive terms. So Governor Youngkin can't run again. He can run again next time, but not again now. So we're gonna see what happens. But I think this combined with like Virginia goes significantly progressive. I think it's gonna inform 2026 big time, yeah. And I think we're gonna see more progressive candidates because progressive candidates speak to this kind of mindset that a lot of people are in, that somehow out of no sense to me, Donald Trump has captured the populist kind of, for the people thing, even though he has no interest in actually governing for the people. So I think progressives have that voice, like a Sanders, AOC, a Mamdani. So I'm positive that this will definitely change us for the better moving forward. What do you think, Katie? Kate? Sorry, I read that
I
wrong.
agree. I agree completely. And I think Mamdani, I think it could be the beginning of an earthquake. I'm not going to say like it's going to be the definitive thing, right? But I think that it's something that that they're absolutely going to have to take a look at and be like, oh, hey, because the thing that's so great about Mamdani is he speaks to the actual issues in a way, like in an intelligent way that is also easily translatable to everybody else. He's not running on vibes, right? Sure, he's charming, and we all think he's adorable, but the dude is he's a man of substance, and he speaks to that populism that you were talking about in a way, I don't know, in a way that I think resonates much more clearly. And I don't think that it's less resonant than the combative rhetoric, right, from the right. I just think that the right has been so strategic about their messaging and so overwhelming and so overbearing. They've just been the loudest voice in the room, not necessarily the one that speaks the most to the people. So I'm super optimistic about this, and I'm trying not to like slide too far like into the hope hole, but I thought it might be fun just for a second to be like, hey, this could really happen.
Well, like a genuine populism is very inspiring and very compelling for people. But when there is when there's none of that from the left, then all you have is the fake populism that like MAGA pretends to present. And if you don't have like real fruit and all you have is like the candy flavor of it, then that's what people go for. You know what I mean? Like grape flavor instead of like real healthy, delicious grapes.
And that's so right, and I'm actually a gardener, so that analogy really speaks to me, because you can throw additive fertilizer, miracle grow up plants all you want, but nothing beats healthy soil, right? Nothing beats healthy soil, nothing beats clean water. And so I think that that's a really great analogy about what we've been seeing. And the reason that the right has been able to get away with this, let's just be clear, is because there hasn't been healthy soil anywhere else, right? Because when you're starving, you'll take the junk. No tea, no shade at Brenna right now, who's on a junk food. Just kidding. But
junk food is great. Junk food is great.
But when you're starving, you'll eat anything.
Edamame, like she's eating edamames.
Oh, those are good. Sorry, I didn't see those. I saw the sour snap. but yeah, no, when you're starving, you'll eat anything. And real substance, things that have grown from healthy soil, real populism hasn't been available anywhere. So everybody's taking the Brondo version of populism, because that's what's been available.
And I really do think, when Kamala first started running, I mean, she had 110 days. When she first started running, there was that real, genuine hope and that real good soil. But one, there wasn't enough time. And then two, half the way through, they really pivoted over to the Liz Cheneys and stuff because they thought that was their avenue. And I think that was the mistake. One, not enough time. And then two, pivoting from that rich, actual excitement that there was to getting Dick Cheney's endorsement for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah, it was it was like a balloon being popped right in front of you at your birthday party.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Yeah.
But there was real excitement, and I think there is real excitement for Mamdani here, and then the what we're seeing from Bernie Sanders and AOC kind of traveling around the country. And there was a record-breaking rally in Los Angeles with them. I can't remember what record it broke, maybe off-season rally or something like that. But it was fantastic. I mean, they're doing all these little things add up to the totality of what we can build from the left with Democrats. If they want to come with us and do it, let's do it.
And there's so many people raring to go. There's so many people that want to do it, and I don't understand how you continue to ignore those voices, especially if this, fingers crossed, looks to be as resounding a message as it might be. I'm going to do some math. I hear the chat saying 88%, so I'm going to do some more math real quick.
Oh, wow. Well, we're getting close there, gang. Throw some blue hearts in the chat. Get the chats moving around. Blue hearts and Mamdani's in the chats. M for Mamdani. And let's get to liking. I only see 20,000, but almost 21,000 likes. I'll bet by 7:10 we can get up to 40 if we really get our fingers tapping and put some M's in the chat and blue hearts in the chat. And share this live with friends of yours who want to follow along, because not everybody's going to be turning on the TV and not everyone's going to be glued to their computer, but you can put this on in the background while you're doing dishes and just be up to date. So share this live with your friends and let's keep the chat moving.
Okay, so updated math, guys. Even if this will not happen, but even if Cuomo gets every single vote that isn't Landers at this stage in the game, and of course it's not counting mail-in ballots like Brenna was talking about, Cuomo would still only have 45.1% if he got every single vote that isn't Landers. So that's pretty great.
Let's hope it's Cuomo no more.
No more. That's right.
I just can't believe he ran in the first place. Didn't get the message. He's crazy. What kind of a crazy narcissist brain does it take to go, oh yeah, well, I was kicked out of being governor, so I'll go run for the mayor of the largest city in the world.
I don't know. I really, there's so many psychological profiles I would like to have done on people, him in particular. So just to understand it.
Oh, wow. Someone just said I look like Dakota Johnson. Thank you. Maybe they were talking about Brenna, maybe. I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, I think I look more like Dakota Johnson than you. So, yeah. Yeah, I think it was to me. Yeah. Okay, so someone asked, go ahead, Kate. Sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say I saw a comment fly by that says he thinks he thinks money will buy it for him, and, I think I think that he works for the money, I'll just say that. He doesn't work for the people.
I think we're moving away from that big time.
Yep.
With some exceptions, but you could see in the well, what state was it? Was it Wisconsin with a Supreme Court judge race where Elon put millions and millions of dollars into the right-wing one, and they didn't win. So we're seeing a real rejection of like what the money is telling us to vote for. And I don't know if it's just like the lag, like it takes 15 years for social media to really, take a hold, but I think money is just less powerful. This is really optimistic, but that's why I'm here on TikTok. But maybe it is. Maybe money is really just starting to have less of a hold on our
Well, it's
for better or worse on our preferences and voting.
it's so interesting. It's so interesting because and that's what I was going to say. Social media, with all of its ills, and there are many, it's very easily influenced. However, it's a populist messaging machine, and when it's done well and correctly, information can spread like wildfire. That I don't know how old everybody in the chat is, but old tools that used to work really well, like trying to drum up Islamophobia or all of these things that we've seen them throw up, they just don't work the way that they used to anymore. So, and I would chalk that up to the populist spread of information on social media, personally, and the educators like Brenna who are on social media, who are doing.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and the people like Brenna who spend the time doing the actual education and put out these videos that are based on facts, right?
Hello.
Thank you. Hi, Eric.
How's it going, everybody?
Thank you guys for hosting while I was editing. I'm posting.
Yeah, I felt like I was on MSNBC.
You basically are.
We're giving our political analysis.
Mm-hmm.
You're holding it down, Oslo, honestly.
Yeah, let's go Oslo. I can't believe I saw what looks to be like a Timu Elmo hanging out here.
Timu Elmo, how dare you?
No, my lawyers specifically say I am not affiliated with Elmo whatsoever.
Hey, Oslo, it's funny. I noticed something.
Yeah,
I noticed that your name is a mix between Oscar and Elmo. That would just be a coincidence, right?
Yeah, just a coincidence, probably.
Okay, cool. Just check.
I was looking at a map and I was like, oh, that's a cool name. It's the capital of Norway.
Right. Yeah. It's a great name. I like it.
No, thank you very much.
You're welcome. But I guess it's a bigger compliment to your parents.
Yeah, they came up with it.
Yeah.
My human over here.
Your human over there. Can you ask your human if I can be your godmother?
Sure.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
He's nodding.
Oh, amazing. Oh, I'm so honored. We'll have to do a whole baptism and stuff. I don't believe in that, but baptism by fire.
I am red, so that would make sense.
There you go.
What do you guys think? I've been using Garnier Fructis.
Garnier
you look
Fructis.
luscious.
Yeah.
Wow,
You look
thank
phenomenal. Okay.
Unlike Republicans, I wash all the way, even my legs.
That's true.
They
I heard
believe in
that.
trickle down showering, where they just let the soapy water trickle down and clean their legs.
Gotta use JVN
use
also.
more with it. Maybe it's Garnier.
Maybe it's Mom Donnie.
Maybe it's Mom Donnie. That's right.
We're looking pretty good. What are we, 80 something? What was the last
89% votes in.
89%?
Oh my god.
I just did the numbers again.
Please
and they're
update
the
us.
same. So
Same.
even if Cuomo gets every single vote that isn't from Landers or mail-in, because we don't have the mail-in numbers, Cuomo would still only be at 45.1%.
So I just want to say
single
to people in chat right now, so they're not going to hit the 50%. Mom Donnie's not going to get 50% tonight. So it will go to the second round. But the huge news is that nobody expected Mamdani to even lead at this point,
Yeah.
much less lead by 7+%. And we do have a huge advantage since he co-endorsed with Brad Lander. So most voters who did have Brad Lander as their first pick will likely have Mamdani as the second
No,
pick.
my neighbor.
So this is huge. This is absolutely massive. I know most bettors, like bet sites at this point, pretty much have him running away with it.
Yeah.
So this is pretty much unprecedented. I don't think anybody really predicted any of this happening. I was even trying to kind of hold myself in here, but this is like completely out of the blue.
Yeah. No, so Riva, we have ranked choice voting for the primaries, which means everyone already technically voted again. Well, everyone had the choice of technically voting again. Everyone was allowed to rank 5 candidates. So everyone put in this. So this first round is everyone's first choice for candidate. And once this round is done, they will go through, I believe they will eliminate anyone who cannot meet the 50% threshold at this point. So that would basically be Brad Lander and below. But maybe I'm wrong about that. If anyone knows. Yeah. And they will look at those voters' second choice. And they will start adding, like counting those and start adding. So Brad Lander, and again, I don't know if they will start with Brad Lander or if he would be eliminated technically in later rounds. But for example, Brad Lander, most of his voters are going to rank Zoran number 2 because they cross-endorsed each other. They basically said, Zoran said, hey, if I'm going to be your number 1, consider putting Brad as number 2. And Brad did the same thing. Hey, if I'm your number 1, consider putting Zoran as your number 2. So there's a good chance that the vast majority of Brad Lander's, second choice, or Brad Lander's voters' second choice is going to be Zoran Mamdani. And then those get cycled in. And the first person to get to 50% basically wins.
My understanding is they go bottom up.
Bottom
Is
up.
that-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, but I don't know how quickly, because if they're just going to go, write-ins, I guess they'll go, whatever. Selma will be first. I guess, yeah. So if they went bottom up, all of these, if every single one of these puts number 2, their second choice as Cuomo, he still will not.
He would.
Yeah.
Yep. He still would only have 45.1 so far.
Right.
But I mean, even though they cross-endorse, it's not likely that every single landowner voter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that's still 5% away. That's still not great for Cuomo. Really, really bad.
It's really bad.
Yep. This is not good for Cuomo.
Which we love.
Because even if, again, he would still have to get half of the Lander voters, and we don't know what mail-in looks like, but he would still, even if he got every single vote, have to get half of Lander's voters
Yeah.
to win. And so you're right, it is not looking good for Cuomo.
The one thing I'm going to say that we know establishment Dems are going to be talking about if Mamdani wins. They're going to be saying, oh, well, it's New York, so blah, 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 blah. So we really, all of us in the chat,
Which is crazy.
All 600, 550 of you from all around the country, we got to all post about Mamdani, just letting, we got to all celebrate this, not just New York City, to let the Democratic Party know this is the direction. Hey, look, we're going this way. Come with us. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Agree.
Do you mind if I say something real quick, if y'all don't mind?
Go for it.
Don't forget though that just because if Cuomo loses his race doesn't mean he's not sorry, I can't speak right now. Just because he loses this race, if he loses it to Mamdani, doesn't mean he's not going to be on the ballot. He's still going to be on the ballot in the Faith and United party.
Yeah, so he basically made up a party so that he can still run in the general. And here's the thing. What would be fucking crazy, pardon my language, is if, I hope that if he loses the primary, the actual Dem establishment will all fall in line and support Mamdani. If Mamdani wins the nomination, they, watch this closely, right? Because they could still just pull some bull. And like Bloomberg and whatnot could still be like, nah, I'm going to keep donating to Cuomo's super PAC and stuff. Because Cuomo still plans on running in the general. To be fair, Mamdani will also probably run again in the general under the Working Families Party line, probably. But still, yeah, if Mamdani loses this, he will probably not, there's not a good chance of him winning in the general. But Cuomo might get the support of a lot of Republicans, would probably get the support of a lot of Republicans. And then depending on how much support Dems and the DNC puts behind their actual primary winner, we'll see, you know?
Exactly. Do you mind if I say something real quick? And I don't mean to cut off.
Yeah,
I just
go for it.
for everyone in the chat, no, this is not the results. This is only this is the results. It's not the final results. So it's only the results of round 1. But I do want to say though, if Cuomo loses the race for the general,
General's not ranked choice, unfortunately.
Sorry, not general. Primary. My mistake. Primary. Am I echoing, by the way?
No, you're good.
Okay, because I thought I heard myself echoing. Anyway, if he loses the primary, I think with the Faith United, this is just me speaking from what I've seen. I think he has enough strength right now because he has a lot of big supporters. He has Bloomberg, he has de Blasio, he has Bill Clinton.
No, he doesn't have de Blasio. De Blasio hates Cuomo.
De Blasio endorsed him, I believe.
No. De
No, I'm
Blasio.
gonna step in here. Mondani was actually on record saying that he really liked Bill de Blasio.
Yeah, de Blasio hates Cuomo. I don't know if de Blasio officially endorsed Mamdani, but he very much came out against Cuomo. Because de Blasio was mayor while Cuomo was governor, and they had such a terrible relationship because Cuomo is so terrible. Like a lot of people who, and this is exactly why Cuomo should not win, right? Cuomo does not like this city. He's a bully. He's never done anything good for this city. And de Blasio, while there's like a lot of criticisms of his mayorship, a lot of the obstacles he faced were because Cuomo was like sabotaging him at every turn. So like, yeah, they hate each other. And it's a perfect example of like why it would be nuts to put Cuomo in charge of the city. Like, you know what I mean? Whatever.
I will say, don't put it past the Democrats to completely bypass all of this and not endorse Zoran, because they have shown that they're trying to get more young people out to vote. They're asking people, how can we get young people to support the Democrats? And it's very simple. It's just you put progressives in that position and young people will go out and they will support the progressives. But unfortunately, the Democratic Party doesn't want to have progressive leadership because they're establishment Dems. So just keep an eye on the Democratic Party because their every move from here on out really shows exactly what they are and what they're trying to do.
Exactly. Eric, were you the one speaking right
until we take him over.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I just want to jump in and say yes, but I also 90% in. Like I'm a progressive and establishment Dems are fucking drive me crazy, but when we say like, oh, pay attention because this will show who like Dems really are, that doesn't mean that if they prove themselves to be the worst of the worst, that doesn't mean like, oh, okay, so from here on out, we're not going to engage with the Democratic Party. No, I posit that like the smartest thing we can do is pull a MAGA and fucking change the party from within. And I know it's not easy, but like, you know what I mean? Like the solution, something. When people say like, oh, watch this and we'll know exactly who they are for once and for all. It's like, okay, until we change that. And not that that's easy, but like MAGA fucking did it. They took over that, the GOP, and now the GOP is MAGA. Like we can
took it over in less than a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sort of. It took a couple of rounds, you know what I mean? But like, yeah, they run that shit now.
Can I jump in real quick if you all don't mind?
Yeah,
I just
go for
want
it.
to finish off. I just want to say that earlier. Yeah, apparently I was wrong. Yeah, you were right. Bill de Blasio, not Norton, but I was still right. It was I was right on the other two. I was right. It was Bloomberg and Clinton.
Yes.
Bloomberg and Clinton. I did see
yes,
that Clinton
they did.
endorsed.
Yeah,
and Clinton is donating money. But I was gonna say, from what we see, because we still do know that Clinton, at least Bill and Hillary are still big in the party. They're not as big as they were like 8 years ago, but they're
Oslo has
still
hand up.
pretty big. So
Yeah.
what I was going to say was, I think that, let's say hypothetically, like they say, like, oh, Zora Mandani wins at 52.5% of vote. I'm just hypothetically saying it. If he wins, Cuomo is going to do his absolute best. That he's going to basically say, I do not care if a Republican wins. I want to basically screw over Mamdani because he cost me the nomination. He will do anything in his power. He will even do something.
Yeah.
I fully believe that he will do something that nobody expected, and I think he'll be having up a campaign, but I think he will actually be helping Adams. I think he'll be doing anything in his power to try to stop Mamdani, even if that means putting Adams in power. And I'm saying that also Republican person Curtis Silva could have a decent chance out of this, but we know for a fact that Republicans have not been elected to the New York City mayoralship since 1994.
Right.
So they honestly have no chance. So it's either going to be he wins it on his own, or he's going to be helping Adams win a second term.
Right.
I just want to piggyback off of what Brenna said just a second ago for just a second, kind of rock it back to there. Even if that's right, like worst case scenario, like, the establishment puts all, that this isn't definitive, that they put all of their, whatever towards getting Cuomo, all that. If they do what they've always done, that is not, this alone, what's happening right in this moment, is still huge. This is still huge. The numbers that Mamdani is pulling right now are humongous. And just as another example of where, like, true populism, the direction that it's heading in this country, in Oklahoma, like just a few days ago, Bernie Sanders, as part of his tour, went to the reddest state in the union, to Oklahoma, and the hall was full and people were overflowing outside. In Oklahoma, I'm sure you guys have seen the clips where Bernie finds out in real time about Iran. That was Oklahoma. You guys saw how full that was. Like, that is enormous.
Yeah.
For the reddest state in the union to have that kind of turnout for a Democratic socialist like Bernie Sanders. The momentum is going in this direction. And so even if they do what everyone suspects that they might, if this isn't definitive tonight, which it looks like it may not be, that does not mean that this is all for naught and we need to throw up our hands and be like, oh, this hope, this momentum is still going to carry, because just like Brenna said, this is the beginning of a change. And it requires engagement, involvement, hope, and movement on everybody's part. And just like Oslo was saying earlier, no matter what happens, everybody needs to be out there pushing the needle, right? Back in the direction of facts, logic, and reason, right? We need to be moving that needle back in this direction. And I think that this is the beginning of it. And I don't think that means we just need to be like, oh, and we need to cry in our beds, all that stuff. I think that this is huge either way.
I agree.
I think this is a really great question. Do we think that the Democratic Party is going to be able to do something only with one person being a Trump-like figure? Or is there going to be able to be a coalition of sorts, or just a
coalition,
a tight group?
Full coalition.
We have to do it. I have strong opinions about this. We have to do a coalition.
Brianna, can you zoom a little?
Sorry?
Can you zoom out your screen a little? People can't see the names of the candidates.
Oh, yeah. You want to see all of them, including the...
No. They just can't see it because it cuts out half the name.
It says.
Now we can see it better. Okay. Thank you.
The strength of the big tent is the tent, right? The strength of populism is the people. It is embracing all of these diverse voices and really moving towards actual working families, actual labor, actual popular. And this is, that's my opinion on this. Is that all of these pitfalls that come with everything that we're seeing, they come with those centralized cult-like figures, and we've never done that, and we shouldn't do that.
And every place is going to need a different solution. We're all very diverse places.
Cuomo called and congratulated Mamdani.
Yeah, I did.
Wait, hold on.
Sorry.
Cuomo conceded?
What?
Cuomo conceded?
Wait, confirm it.
No
Confirm
way.
it.
What?
Confirm it.
What?
Fact check.
No.
Source. Okay, we need sources.
Yep, we need the fact check, otherwise it ain't true. We can't be doing what Trump did, where he calls out fake news and says it's true, the ceasefire.
Right.
Yeah. Where's this?
but Brianna,
What's your? Wait. What's your? Okay. Why am I? Where is your? What's your source? What's your source?
Guys,
I'm
put
getting
sources
all
in the
these
chat.
comments.
Yeah, where is the source?
was on
We need to-
ABC
give us a
Live?
news. Give us a news source. Give us a news source where you got a legitimate
ABC
news source, not
Live.
like news fact.
ABC 7 New York. They
I mean,
say.
you could
New York.
check Twitter for the clip. Like if it was a live clip, it would
Yeah,
be clipped up on by now.
ABC
Could be
7.
live on YouTube as well.
Hold on. I'm blue. No, that's not true. It means he's just going to be on the ballot as the Faith and whatever party nominee.
The TV is
Cuomo.
on. The TV is on, but yeah.
Guys, for Cuomo, he is still going to be on the ballot. He's just going to be running as a third party.
It was live on CBS New York.
But
Okay, let's wait. We'll get the because this should update pretty immediately. Let's see.
Brianna, do you live in New York? Do you live in NYC or?
I do. I live in Brooklyn.
Can I ask you a question then?
Yeah, go for it.
Other social media sites are confirming, but I don't see a new. But other social media sites are squawking the same thing.
Oh my god.
Brianna,
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Because you live in NYC, I wanted to ask you, how come all of NYC, at least a large majority, supported Mamdani, but then Cuomo was just basically, I wanted to ask, what's the deal with Staten Island? Why was Cuomo winning it by like 20 points?
Very Republican.
Wait. I'm sorry. Repeat that question.
Why is it that Staten Island was the only area where Cuomo was able to win it by over 15%?
Staten Island is very Republican. Very, very Republican.
Okay, thank you very much for that.
Yeah.
Because I even heard people that live in New York and they're like, why is it so high for Cuomo and then everywhere else it's so high for Mamdani?
Because
So
Staten
Staten
Island
has
is
a
all
lot of,
cops. It's all
cops and firemen and
Yeah.
They call it Staten Italy for a reason.
It went for Staten Island went for Trump, like the last I think the last 3 elections, maybe just the last 2, but yeah, Staten Island goes for Trump. They're fucking MAGA country.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't Staten Island where the Statue of Liberty is? Am I wrong on that?
Yeah, no, different. Ellis Island is where the Statue of Liberty.
Ellis Island, my mistake.
Okay. Per a clip of a video on another social media site, the crowd chants Zoran as Cuomo concedes to Mamdani. So that's on the bat. There's a clip of it on the social media site we hate.
On Twitter.
Yo, hold up.
Twitter.
Brianne, do you know about the site Let's Talk Elections? Do you know about the site Let's Talk Elections?
Let's talk elections. No, I don't know it.
Okay, they're
Yep,
basically one of the biggest political YouTube channels, and they get the news firsthand from the station. They basically just confirmed that Cuomo said
Cuomo is-
Zoran is won.
Oh my. Okay, Cuomo concedes election. Okay.
Yeah, they're apparently from. I'll look up the source right now.
Okay. Twitter. I need to see. Why the fuck isn't this like updating? I'm not seeing
all of
anywhere.
Twitter is saying it. There's clips
Wait,
all
doesn't
over
this mean that if Mamdani wins the general, he'll be the highest ranking socialist official in the country?
Again, no, he's just a mayor.
Well-
AOC is technically, and also
Bernie
Bernie Sanders technically a higher ranking
Well, you know what I said
on NYC. No, I know.
Local
We scroll
highest
down.
ranking local official. My mistake. Local official, not federal official. Highest ranking local official.
I mean, well, local officials they're not ranked that way. I mean, I guess because it's such a populated.
I don't know why the
city, is
updates
what you mean,
basically
but,
stopped updating.
Like the mayor of New York doesn't necessarily outrank
updates.
the
Here we go.
mayor of Los Angeles or whatever. You know, like they don't outrank each other. They're just different mayors.
Also, the reason why I said that is because I just know because for me, I see that NYC is the biggest city.
Tonight was our night.
The highest
Tonight
ranking.
is his night. He deserved it. He won. But that's not okay.
That's not conceding.
That's not conceding. Okay, this
Until
is
he actually says I concede, he hasn't conceded.
yeah. He's conceding just the first round, basically. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, because
It's not a it's not a concession.
My apologies. Yeah, because nobody actually gets the nomination until somebody hits 50% or more. Wait, what time is it? Oh, actually, no, I still got about 20 minutes. Sorry, I'm tracking another election down here in Cali, which could determine if if I'm gonna say this.
He
Brianne,
said
I'm
tonight is his night, guys. This is not a concession. He's talking about tonight. The next round of counting is going to happen in 1 week.
Oh, Arrow, that's interesting context, I will say. Arrow says Cuomo said he'd support whatever was best for the Democratic Party and also talked in past tense.
We'll see about that.
Can you yeah. Are you able to pull up a clip, Brenna? Not to direct your...
Yeah, I was trying to find it on here. Cuomo concedes.
And because the rules of the ranked choice are pretty clear, I thought. Like, if no one reaches 50, then they go on to the next round.
Thank you. Okay, I got the... Thank you for taking care of me. Okay, I got the video of what people are claiming is the concession.
Young people and inspired them and moved them and got them to come.
Here we
go. The issues that we discussed. But tonight was not our night. Tonight was Assemblyman Mondani's night, and he put together a great campaign, and he touched young people and inspired them and moved them and got them to come out and vote.
Touching young people is your thing, Cuomo.
I was just about to say that.
I called him, I congratulated him, I applaud him sincerely for his effort, and let's give him a round of applause. And
I don't think this is a this doesn't come off as a concession for me.
the issues that we discussed.
I think you're right, Brenna. This is him saying he won tonight, but there's more counting. No one's going to get to 50.
This doesn't sound like a concession to me.
He put together a great campaign, and he...
I know Midas, I guess, is claiming that they did, but I don't think he conceded it.
Yeah, we also have to remember that ranked choice is relatively new to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And so if you've got people that are seeing that, it's, and they're choosing to use the word concede, even though it's not technically what's happening,
Yeah. He didn't use the word concede. I mean, not that a concession has to use that word, but like.
Right.
They're calling it a concession? Okay. All right. We'll see about that, but.
Yeah, I mean, because ranked choice literally, like, the rules are pretty clear. Like, ranked choice goes through rounds until somebody's at 50%.
Yeah.
And then that's the...
Wait, who's calling it a concession?
Yeah, I would love...
What news site?
An actual source, yeah.
What actual news? What? New York Times? Riz. These are the results right now. Let's see. New York Times, live updates. Let's see if they called it a concession. It just says holds lead still. Here's the latest. 2 new updates.
Wow, even Abraham Lincoln voted.
Careful, Oslo. Let's see.
the only news site, if you guys could send like a actual
Yeah, they say he called and congratulated him. Congratulating is not conceding, my loves.
Yeah, the only news sites, right, that are using the concession language are not reputable. Like, I don't see any of the major outlets or AP or I just don't see anybody using that concession language other than like blog style.
Yeah, Politico is not.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Politico.
It's like weird stuff like the 19th date, like stuff that's not.
We are happy. I'm just saying. New York One said concede. New York Times did not say concede.
Someone in the chat said Politico said it, but you also just said Politico didn't say it.
And guys, we're super duper happy. It's not that. It's just like specific language is so important so that we don't spread misinformation. And a lot of people don't know how ranked choice voting works, which is really a travesty because it's really the most democratic process, right? And everybody should be using it, in my opinion. And so, like, it's not that I'm over the moon right now. I truly am. It's just that language, that precise language, is very important so that we're not part of the mis or disinformation machine. That's all. This is amazing.
We have FC the okay. It specifically says concedes in the New York Times app.
Yeah, I mean, if it does, then take a screenshot. Come on up and.
I think he definitely feels like he's not gonna win, but New York Times live update. Okay, he concedes. Okay, we'll see. We'll see about that. They're still counting. They're going to count next week as well. I can guarantee you that if Andrew Cuomo... Listen, I think it's very unlikely that Andrew Cuomo is going to win at this point. Very unlikely. However, if Andrew Cuomo were to win, he would accept the nomination. He's not conceded in a way that, like, stops the count or, like... No.
But then again, maybe they have internal numbers and they know they lost.
Oh, I think he lost. I think at this point, he lost. What do you mean goalposts? No, that's how elections work, of course. What do you mean fucking goalposts? I mean, here's the thing. A lot of times when candidates concede, like, they'll fucking stop counting and shit. But this is ranked choice. They're going to keep counting the next round and stuff. He can reach 50%, actually, technically. AP says concede. All right. Let's hope so. I think Mamdani won. I think fucking Mamdani won. Can we start cheering? We've been cheered, guys. Yes. I'm not finding it on AP, but you could easily be missing it. This is the most incredible electoral news in for fucking ever.
Agree.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
God.
would say this is like the first time I feel like I've been happy over a political event in at least half a decade. I feel like the last time I felt happiness during anything politically related was when I was canvassing for Bernie Sanders in 2016. So this is incredible. We just can't take our foot off the gas. Just because normally, New York does elect their Democratic primary candidate, we're going to be battling with some of the people in the establishment. You cannot take your foot off the gas. We need to just keep spreading the word, keep canvassing, keep letting people know what's going on, and just showing people all of Zoran's policies, because at the end of the day they will benefit all of the average New Yorkers, as opposed to whatever Eric Adams, or if Cuomo runs as an independent, he has the better policies 100%.
There it is.
I just looked up what Cuomo made named his party, and it's called Fight and Deliver.
Yeah. Cuomo left the door open to run in the general election. That's what I'm saying. That's the thing. I don't trust it as a full, true concession, and I think he's probably going to run anyway, unless he gets pressured otherwise, but yeah.
People are saying the AP News homepage says it too.
But a loss like this you can't come back from. We'll see split screen. That's the thing. Cuomo is a Republican, so he's going to have the support of a lot of Republicans and moderate Dems, centrist Dems, which is scary. He could absolutely still win in the general if he ran.
Oh, I'm so excited, though. I'm so excited. This is so cool.
God. Oh,
this is good. You guys.
Yes, Meg. I know it has. I know. I posted it there. We're discussing this, guys. We're discussing the reason we're saying, I don't know if he conceded, is because we watched the speech he gave. We read the transcript. It didn't sound like a concession. And if he won 50%, I know for a fucking fact he would absolutely run as the Dem party candidate. I don't think this is an actual concession because they're going to keep counting next week. You know what I mean? So technically there could be an upset with the mail-in ballots and with the second round. Technically, I don't expect it. I think Mamdani absolutely won this. I believe that the numbers are that Mamdani won this. I don't think Cuomo conceded in any real sense of the word. He's still planning on running as an independent. Like,
yeah,
you know
like
what I mean?
literally the last, like literally the last line up there on the screenshot is Mr. Cuomo left the door open to run in the general. Like, he's
guys, oh my God. Okay, chat. I understand New York Times and AP are calling it a concession. They heard the same speech we did. They are individuals just like us who like take in information and then report it. Like, yes, they're saying it, but they don't seem to have any information outside of the exact same speech we all heard. So until, like, we're just, you know, we know Cuomo. The problem with Cuomo is he's a fucking asshole. That's why he's planning on running as an independent. He literally worked to put Republicans in power. He's supposedly a Dem. While he was governor and while Dems had the majority in the legislature, he organized it so some like fake Dems could peel off from the Dem party and create a coalition with Republicans so he could basically pass the Republican agenda. Cuomo doesn't act in good faith. That's why I'm saying the fact that Cuomo literally said, like, literally didn't say I concede. He just said, like, oh, he won tonight. And in ranked choice voting, winning tonight does not mean you win the election. Like, by definition, in 1 week, they're doing a whole other round of counting. Like, to me, I'm like, that is not a Cuomo fucking concession. Until he says, I concede, no. He's still, you know what I mean? That's all we're saying, okay? That's all we're saying.
Maybe they just mean concessions like popcorn and soda.
Exactly. I think you're right, Oslo. I think you might be right. 2 new updates, yes. This is very, very exciting. Final results likely next week, but yeah. Sorry, go for it.
Language is important and the trauma is real. That's all I'll say about that.
Yeah, we're all like, okay, wait.
Even as with the losses are
really
on.
happening.
But I am kicking my feet in this chair. Don't you?
Well, I don't have
Mamdani
feet,
on
but I-
live where? Mamdani on live where? Where? Live where? Mamdani live where?
Just go to YouTube.
They're saying ABC 7 New York.
New York live. Nope. Jackie and Shadow. Nope. Jesus. Why?
Just go to, like, YouTube and like PBS NewsHour or...
Oh, here we go.
Vote. Yep. Try Fox 5. I had success with that before.
Fox 5. Fox 5.
Ugh.
That's DC. Fox. Oh my God. Let me open fucking YouTube. Whatever. Fuck it.
Yeah, surely they'll live stream it from his channel.
New York Mayoral Primary. NYC. Steve Kornacki.
That's what we like to say around here. If it's Tuesday, someone's voting.
This is not live.
So this is not.
Come on. Why is this not primary here?
What's for dinner? What if you already had the answer? Meet Tavala.
Spaghetti.
It was on the right side of the screen, and I'm just stupid.
Tavala. You do you. Well.
That's supposed to be live, and it's not. You're saying here Live is on the right side of the thing.
Yeah, click
Here.
the live.
Don Alejandro, star of TV.
City comptroller.
My sister Jennifer.
Oh no.
None of
I
what
wanted
I
Justin
have
Brannon.
achieved would be possible without them. I love you all so very, very much.
Yeah, we didn't even watch
To
the
every
others.
one of you in this room who knocked on doors, who worked the phone,
Zoran did
who
not
hit the
technically
streets,
win yet,
who was a
but he's probably
monster
going
on
to.
Social media. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Have you seen these
No one
results?
has won yet,
We like
technically.
to say around
but-
here, if it's
oh,
Tuesday,
Jesus. Sorry. I'm on my Windows computer. Live from Zoran HQ.
Race as of right now, like
Let's do this.
What shift did we see or not see?
So, overall in 2021, there were 940,000 ballots cast. Right now, we're at 950,000.
ABC 7 New York on.
But that'll climb over 1 million. But the big turnout shifts came at the neighborhood level. These younger neighborhoods were juiced like nothing before. And black neighborhoods, I mean, I'm just scanning it, but the turnout went down, right? And kind of in these liberal, like No Kings protest areas, Brownstone, Brooklyn, parts of Manhattan, the turnout also went up. So you kind of had...
What does that mean?
And I thought he would win because of it.
I don't know,
You
fucking
did
know.
have Cuomo taking working class
kind
black
of
voters
No
for
Kings
granted. Not really.
areas.
Down there, you are 76
It's not
degrees.
You know,
Jesus.
people who don't want kings.
This is what's live on
Coast there from
ABC
Santa
7.
Monica,
Come on.
to just
Where?
about Oxnard. That is pretty much
Eyewitness
it. Some
News,
way down
ABC
around
7. This is.
Hermosa Beach, and then all of Orange County is clear.
This is
from the
Eyewitness
Green Layer
News,
clouds at this
ABC
time.
7.
98
Oh, here we go.
degrees out at Palm.
Sorry.
To awaiting arrival of Zoran Mamdani.
Oh my god.
Also, just props to his graphic design team. I thought the
yeah.
campaign
Ooh,
images
it was
were so cute,
good.
right?
It was so
Like I
good.
love them. I even just went on the website and I was like, oh, bagels.
So far, Zoran is
It was such
winning.
a callback.
it really
I
was.
know a child, right?
It felt very
Yes, absolutely.
Obama, but for New York.
How's that? Is that better? We can also go full. How's this, guys? Is this okay?
That's great.
He's leading. We will probably find out next Tuesday.
Ooh, I love that music.
Jermaine
Ooh.
or Jumani.
That's a fun tension builder music choice.
No
like
one
it.
won yet. Mark Levine. Ugh. I voted for Brannon. This is an
I'm
incredible
gonna stick
one.
around
Yeah.
for the speech, but then I'm gonna go.
Okay. Thank you, Oslo. Thanks for having us.
Oslo, you're amazing, by the way. You're so
Thank
great.
you.
Yeah.
I
Thank
love
you,
your
Oslo.
vibe.
No
Thank your
one won
parents for
tonight,
me.
but he pretty much won. He won the evening, let's just say. No one won the election, but he won the evening.
Yeah, we'll cash you. I'm sticking around for Mamdani, but then after he speaks, I'm gonna go.
Okay. Wait, AJ, have you been weighing in? Have we heard from you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yep,
I'm just
no, you're
checking.
good.
I wasn't sure that because I got some people requesting up.
Yeah, you're good.
And if you guys wanna, I'm trying to do something on TikTok, while we're waiting. I'm trying to get people joyful again, because I think we on the left, we do our best work when we're having a little bit of fun. I mean, I know sometimes things are
absolutely.
awful and some topics aren't suitable for puppets, but when we're joyful in our resistance, I think we do our best work. So that's what I'm trying to
Joy
cultivate.
is
If you
a
wanna
form
join
of
my
resistance.
family,
It is.
I agree. Joy is a form of resistance.
I followed you, Oslo, and all the cool kids in
Everyone
the chat.
follow Oslo.
Follow Oslo. Yeah.
Mwah. I reached 10K today, so
Congratulations.
I can find my playlists of my content.
Well, you could finally monetize, more importantly.
Well, that's true too. That's true too.
Oh. Oh, is that right? Can I?
I didn't think about that.
Congratulations.
Guys, they haven't announced yet. We're
My God,
waiting
son.
on Zoran to come to the podium. So.
Do we want to make a bet if the Democrats actually?
It
start
could, David.
supporting
Yeah.
him?
No, not tonight.
Oh man, I know. I wanna stay in this high.
Yeah, let's just enjoy the night tonight.
That's fair. That's fair.
Guys,
I'm actually
no.
gonna be optimistic and positive about it. I think they will.
Okay.
Cuomo literally is still leaving the door open to run as an independent. When he conceded, he congratulated Cuomo. People are assuming it's a concession, but it's not over until Cuomo fucking crawls back under the rock he crawled out from under in the first place.
Yeah.
If you are not
people saying
familiar
they're
with,
gonna-
yeah, sorry, go for it.
Sorry. Yeah, there's people in the chat saying they're going to David hog him, all that stuff. Guys, worst case, say, ride this high tonight. But let's say worst case scenario and they do. Like, use that to galvanize you to get involved. When people talk about getting community, it's
like
not
that.
some dry thing. Like, they're not just saying, oh, join a community and then nothing. They're saying join community so that you can organize in your community, right? So that you can do things in your community. That community building, that's what they mean. So that you can knock doors, so that you can run candidates, so that you can be a part of a Zoran moment where you live. You know, use that to galvanize you and to do things at home. You know, worst case scenario, even best case scenario too.
Let it reinvigorate us.
Yes. Either use
It's
the
a
anger from
groundswell.
either use the anger or the hope from whatever happens to fuel you and get
And
involved.
at the end of the day,
Sometimes it's both.
at the end of the day too, this just again shows that, you know, young people and left-leaning people will come out and vote for a progressive.
Yeah,
This
Moon.
just shows that.
Also, there's an article already. Cool. You know what? Who articles are written by? People like us. We also listened to Cuomo's speech, and also, if you know anything about Cuomo, you should know he's a fucking asshole.
I was gonna say cockroach because you try to kill him and he just won't. die.
Careful with the K word. Careful with the K word.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Cuomo congratulated Zoran. So people are reporting it as a concession. He congratulated Zoran. The vote is still being counted. I think Zoran won. But Cuomo might still. If Cuomo were to win the nomination, he would not concede. Also, Cuomo still might run as an independent. He's still registered to run as an independent in the general. So, we'll see.
This also shows
A lot of Milk. A lot of media organizations. First, it started on Twitter. Everyone was calling it a concession, and now most major media orgs are calling it a concession. But I don't know. That's
Yeah, that's not what I heard.
That's not what I
That's
heard.
not what you heard. We heard him say tonight was his night. That's
in
not
ranked
quite
choice.
a concession.
Yeah, which in ranked choice voting is not a concession and stuff. If it were a normal election, I would totally feel that way. I would be like, yeah, that sounds like a concession. Not in ranked choice voting. There's another scheduled count for the next round in 1 week. So, yeah, today Mamdani was ahead of him. It was absolutely Mamdani's night. That doesn't technically mean... We're not
keep in
Republicans,
mind-
Sonny. Dude, you shut the fuck up, dude.
Keep in
We're
mind,
absolutely
too-
progressives, you dumb fuck.
Keep in mind too that Zoran got all of this momentum in the span of 2 months. 2 months ago he was polling under 20%, and he was able to get the entire Democratic, base on board. And now we have, a whole half year until the November election.
No one here likes Cuomo, dumbasses. What do you fucking mean? Why do you like Cuomo? Sorry, I'm getting a little bit annoyed.
Nobody likes Cuomo.
Yeah, no one likes Cuomo, not even the people who voted for Cuomo. No one here likes Cuomo. Being accurate with your facts and saying Cuomo's an asshole and what he said didn't sound like a concession is not liking Cuomo. Jesus fucking Christ.
I love when Brenna goes into aggro mode.
Yeah, I don't even know if there's any Cuomo that I like.
Yeah.
And so I
Thank
just
you.
like on a small soapbox died side quest because I am a former journalist.
New York Times
okay?
update on Cuomo. Update as
And
in
the
sorry. So update on it as in they're like adjusting when they claim that he conceded, or update just them saying that he conceded. Again, guys, okay, in a phone call with the New York Times, he confirmed he was conceding. Okay, but he's still considering whether to run. Okay, I said he won the primary election. Well, you didn't say that, but sure. I said I wanted to look at the numbers and the ranked choice voting to decide about what to do in the future because I'm also on an independent line. Okay, well, I mean, he didn't say that. He didn't say any of that. But, okay, he confirms he fucking conceded the Dem primary.
Heck.
All right, yes.
Let's go. The best thing he can do now is just crawl back under the bridge from which he came.
Thank you for alerting us,
And
Ella.
we'll see Zoran as the New York City mayor.
I hope so. He better not fucking run in the general.
That's why we gotta keep just I'm from Connecticut, but I will drag my ass down to New York City. And I will start canvassing for Zoran in the next couple of months because everybody needs to just learn more about the guy. Like I said, it was like a 2-month process of him taking over this entire election. So now that we have 5-6 months until the actual New York City election comes in, we have time. Like we have the ability to speak to people and So
well, and also he's made like crazy progress in such a short amount of time. Also, but I do want to just to clarify because some people just no, I think Working Family will do Zoran. They often do they often do whoever's running with the Dem party. I just want to say, Andrew Cuomo confirmed. The New York Times literally called him up, not just for a comment, but the fact that they say Andrew Cuomo confirmed that he was conceding tells me that they had the same fucking questions, and that's why they took so long to first call it a concession in the first place. Okay?
Yes.
So for everyone who's like, well, actually the New York Times said it was a concession, again, they had the same information we had. It did not sound like a concession. They called him up and they asked him, can we fucking confirm you're actually conceding? Just to say that. Okay.
That's 100% right, and it is literally the way that confirming sources. That's literally it. Yeah, that's exactly what happened in my opinion, as well. And guys, the language is like Brenna's not being pedantic just for fun. Like the language is so important, not just to avoid the spread of mis and disinformation, but if you think about strategically the fact that we're just rolling out ranked choice voting.
Yeah.
It's a huge race that's being looked at nationwide. One of the first instances where people are even hearing of ranked choice voting in this country. Like they say that, oh, he confirmed, but oh, then he did, or conceded, and oh, then he didn't. Then people are going to be like, oh, I freaking hate ranked choice. This is too confusing, blah, blah, blah. Like, so it's really important to be specific with that language.
Yeah.
Because, not only can you spread misinformation, but you could be doing something like torpedoing a really promising thing for the democratic process.
We had
Can I
ranked
say
choice in 2023, I believe. Was it 21 that it first came out? I don't know, but it's only in primaries also. This is only the second time we did ranked choice.
Can I say something to you guys?
Yeah, what's up?
I love that you're covering this. The high is going to last. I've been researching this election since February when he was polling at 3 to 7%. This election is a bellwether for 2026 midterms and 2028. Economic populism is the winning message. AOC 2028. It's happening. This is the first test. I was nervous for a little bit, but the fact that the last poll had him behind 2 points in first round voting, and he soared to 43.5%. He is going to win the general election. Economic populism is the message that Democrats need to focus on. This is the death of the establishment. And when in 2 years from now, 3 years from now,
maybe.
Ooh,
New
babe,
York
I
City.
love your optimism. I love it.
You too.
I'm not from New York, but I love New York. I'm just curious.
He said his name wrong, Mandami. God, of course he did.
So did he win the assembly or did he win mayoral position?
No, he won the primary, so he still has to run in the
Okay.
general. And Cuomo still might run against him in the general. Motherfucker.
It doesn't even
bitch.
matter if he runs. Cuomo will not beat him.
That's
in the
not true.
general.
That's not true. Cuomo
Yes.
has the support of a lot of Republicans. He could absolutely beat him in the general.
And he's got super PACs too, so he's got
got
all
super
that
PACs.
unlimited money.
The momentum.
And I
that has
love
built up-
I love the optimism. I think it's beautiful, but you got to be really careful with that stuff because if people rest on their laurels instead of
Yeah.
continuing to go to
you gotta
work
go
for
hard.
Zoran,
Everybody got to go hard all
Yep.
the way through because this is the biggest platform progressive has had in a long time.
Yeah.
And now
Now,
it's
I
time to
wanna-
capitalize on it.
I
Now
want
it's
to bring
time
up
to go
something
team.
Eru Abraham said in the chat. For all 450 of you who are watching this right now, you want to do something to support. You can all support Zoran by phone banking remotely for the general election. We're
Please.
going to need everybody. We're going to need every person to step up if
Please.
he's going to win this because you don't know if, I don't know what the establishment's going to do. I don't know if Cuomo is going to come in as an independent. They're going to be gunning for Zoran, so
Yeah.
we need everybody.
I gotta ask you guys a question. What do you think really made it for this campaign? What do you think it was the social media? Do you think it was the press? What do you think is really resonating with voters?
Oh.
Definitely the social media aspect of it. It's been awesome. He's been
been
killing
so
it
good,
with
but not just.
interviews.
But to be clear, not just social media. Period. Right? Because anyone can do social media. No,
So
Zoran.
strategic.
I have been kicking my feet nightly, just scrolling through. My favorite stuff is our Zoran's posts. He's such as another TikToker put it, he's such a cutie patootie. He is so willing to be silly. He's so willing to be fun. That video of him singing a rap for my nanny, I was like, oh my God, you're just like my friends. I was like, oh, you're exactly like the people that I hang out with. I fucking love this. And should you vote for someone just because you feel like you could have a beer with them? No, obviously. But that's so much
what you're
a
saying
part
is
of
different.
it. Sure. Yes. But I just want
It's
to.
different than beer.
But I want to acknowledge.
You're
But
talking about authenticity.
authenticity.
People are starved
Yes.
for
Yes.
authenticity.
That too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yes, he's
also,
funny, too.
but there is a lot. But I just want to acknowledge that part of this is oh my God, I feel like we could hang out. Also, I will say personally, I ran into Mamdani very early on in the during the election at a Tesla takedown protest and stuff. You know what I mean? He has been out here. He's been doing it. He's posted videos. I think I've seen 4 or 5 different languages, of videos that he's done. It's incredible. And it's not just the language. He does it in he does culturally respectful and appropriate videos, referencing and acknowledging cultural quirks, speaking to so many different cultures that are represented in New York City. That's part of it. I think also his policies are fucking winners. You know what I mean? The fact that his biggest thing was he's gonna raise income tax by 2% on people making $1 million a year. That's it, okay? That's the proposed tax increase. By 2% on people making $1 million a year. And the fact that Cuomo's team went after him for that and fucking blanketed everything with he wants to raise taxes to pay for it. He wants to raise taxes a significant amount to pay for it. And anytime I feel people who were able to get the information or receive the information that it was actually it's a 2% increase on people making more than $1 million a year. I feel anyone who received that information could easily be hold on. Is that really what you fucks are fear mongering about? You know what I mean? Like there's such
Can
a
I say-
Snackable policy, snackable stuff. That was
yes.
easy to understand.
Easy to understand. It's simple. It's not a complex tax plan. And that sucks. Like, let me acknowledge this. That sucks because tax plans are complex. And when you're running on like a thing, like a lot of times you're going to be like, well, we're going to change the tax rates by this much, and like sliding scale, blah, 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 whatever. But like 2% on people making more than $1 million a year is so simple, so basic, so easy to understand that it's like easy to counteract the entire narrative that's like, he's going to raise taxes on people and it's going to be socialism and it's going to be blah, blah, blah. And everything's going to be free by charging you more. Da, da, da. And like 2% on people making more than $1 million. 2% on people making more than $1 million. 2% on people making more than $1 million. That like, you know what I mean? That's such an easy, simple thing where most people can be like, that does not apply to me. You know?
Is there really that many millionaires in New York?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I just to like distill it down, right? He is an authentic, relatable man of substance. And I
Working
will
man,
add,
too.
because all of everything that he said was something of substance, right? And I will add also, you know, and this is a little nationalist, so my progressives forgive me for this, but he speaks, everything that he is speaks to who the United States have always said that they were and who they were for.
Exactly.
He is an exemplar of what we aspire to be, what we thought that we were before all of this crazy stuff started happening.
Can I say one thing too?
I'm going to record another video. I'm just going to mute myself real quick. You guys have the floor. I'm just going to record another update, if that's okay. Just yeah.
Yes. Oslo has had his hand up for so long, and it's adorable.
Yeah. Oslo, you got it. Jump in,
Yeah, I
Oslo,
just
anytime you
wanna
want.
say, in terms of what I was saying about authenticity, it's not just like, oh, you know, great TikToks and being an authentic person. It's about your platform as a candidate, authentically believing that what your platform is going to help people, not just saying like, oh, I think, well, everyone seems to like this, so I'm going to be for that, or this seems popular, so I'm going to be for that, or my donors are telling me that I should do this, or poll numbers say this. But real authenticity and like, this is what I believe, and this is what I think will help people. You know, in addition to the authenticity of like making funny videos and stuff, that's what I mean by authenticity, is just like someone who's like, here, this is me. This is what I think. And do you like it? You on board?
He was very
100%
much
agree.
unapologetically himself.
And I will, like, when I was researching this throughout February, Cuomo to me was always a bad candidate. I mean, the optics of him running after being like sued for sexual harassment. He only ran after Trump came back into office. A convicted felon came back into office, and he thought he could get there off of name recognition alone.
Mm-hmm.
That lead that he's always had, I've always saw it as blown up. Blown up lead. It doesn't really exist. And Zoran gained momentum week after week after week. Economics, focusing, no culture war stuff, focusing on what impacts people's day-to-day lives. And that it's honestly been, I've never seen someone run such a good campaign. Probably AOC.
Yeah.
AOC, comparable to AOC. Actually, I think he did it better than AOC. I think this was amazing. I think this is a bellwether for the midterms, and I'm going to say this now. People can call me crazy. AOC 2028 is who I think. That's where the country's trending.
That would be
Economic
awesome.
populism.
Wait, hold on. I
is
gotta
on the
wait.
rise.
Did someone just give me a galaxy?
Ooh.
They did.
Wait, let yourself be known in the chat.
I got a question for you guys. First thing I did when I woke up this morning, obviously I go on the socials, and on Instagram, I can't remember who it was. It was one of, like, maybe it was Wall Street Journal or something. I don't know who it was. I was surprised though by the older women that were being interviewed or just given gave a quote and were just gung-ho for Cuomo, and their whole reasoning behind it was, he gave hope to the nation during COVID and stuff like that. I mean, am I wrong to be a little shocked about that one? Because that took me aback. What do you guys think?
He was the same candidate, or he was in office when they locked down the what was it, the
nursing homes.
Yeah, the nursing.
yes,
exactly,
yes,
which
the
is
nursing
why I'm
homes,
like,
and he caused the deaths of
Remember that.
like tens of thousands of people. It's
yeah.
totally backwards.
Which is why I'm stunned that like so many like especially like older women came out and said those things, and I'm like, do we have amnesia? Are we okay here?
Zoran said it best. They remember his dad, not him.
That's fair. Although
They
I'm
remember his
still gonna be
dad.
sore about the Tappan Zee being renamed. I'm sorry. That's just gonna stick with me for life.
And this is like, it's also so many people don't really talk about. So many women, especially women of that age, have this internalized misogyny that they just don't recognize. So just to throw that little
That is so true.
fun thing to chew on out
That
there.
is so true. I'm really glad you mentioned that. But I think like I'm wondering what can progressives do to maybe get them on our side? I don't know. I mean, like, are they lost causes? Is there a way that we can angle for them? What do
No.
you guys think?
Just keep doing what everybody's doing right now. The more you push common sense policies forward, the more common ground you're gonna find. The distraction messaging that people try and push of like communism and all this stuff is what gets people scared, especially the older voters who grew up during the Red Scare, the boomers and stuff like that. You just push the common sense policy forward, stay away from the culture war stuff, and you just keep going. This is
But I have to say, excuse me, what I
victory.
have to say, because this is going to be a thing in the next 4 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
This culture, what do you call a culture war? We have to stand up for the people who are being attacked. We cannot ignore our trans brothers and sisters and they thems.
Yes.
We cannot just run away from that.
You don't ignore it.
You have to stand
just
up for
ignore
them.
the attacks, and you say everybody deserves. Same thing Zoran did this entire campaign. Every attack he redirected by focusing on issues. And as soon as you get those common ground, it's like, I don't care what you think about trans people. I care about how you're going to help me save money. I care about these city-owned grocery stores. That's how you distract. Once you start going into the culture war stuff, it's really hard. And it's trans rights all day, every day. But we just need to stick on that messaging. And that's where you get through.
I also think if there's a fundamental foundation of any campaign that just says these are my non-negotiables, everybody has rights, everybody has this, everybody has that. I mean, at that point, you can just always redirect. Everyone has that autonomy and that right in that campaign to feel something, and then you can fight the other battles that need to be done. But I think a lot of campaigns have gone into the mud, and unfortunately, it's messed up a lot of like really good campaigns.
I'm gonna head out, guys. I'm gonna clear up a spot for anyone else who wants to join. But thank you for conversation.
Thank you.
Exactly what someone just said in the chat with Zoran says dignifying living for everyone. And he means everyone.
Yeah.
You see how that messaging's not, well, we need to do this and this. It's just focus on everyone. And everybody can agree on that. Even the people. But that's where Fox News gets these boomers. They get them with the immigrants are taking your jobs. Trans people shouldn't exist. They do all those types of distraction to stoke fear. And I think the best example of this in this campaign was, and Zoran called it out, the debate with the beard flyer.
Mm-hmm.
Stoking fear is the playbook, and it's a playbook that people are tired of because we've dealt with by the time 2028 comes around, 8 years of Trump.
Yeah.
And just to be a little bit of a contrarian, it's a matter of messaging. I mean, because I agree with Oslo. Like, it's incredibly important that we don't leave people behind. We have to bring them with us, and we can't pretend like we're not going. Like, we can't placate the extremists on the right by dropping. We can redirect it, which I think is a little bit what you were saying earlier. But we can say, listen, we're bringing everybody with us.
Exactly.
We're bringing everyone with us, and guess what? If you're leaving MAGA and you're looking for something else, that can include you, right? But we want to bring everybody up,
And
and we're not leaving anybody behind.
too. This is
It's all of
Americans.
us or none of us. That's what has to change. This divisive, all of this stuff has got to change. And if we want to live up to this part, like, it is all of us or none of us. And I think that's why Zoran has been so successful, is because he embodies that. Sorry, I got a little.
No, I
high-pitched there.
I completely agree with you. And I think he did such a good job at that debate. I think that debate was honestly some of the slickest performance I've seen in a while.
It was poetic at times, frankly.
The I am not you, Mr.
Republican primaries are the same.
He tapped into the best of us, not the worst of us.
Socialism.
People
So
are
sorry.
sick
Sorry.
of
Let's.
the worst of, like,
So-
that's-
sorry. Instead of I just yes. I'm sorry to interrupt, but some chat, like, I also would love to start addressing some of the fools in the chat complaining, saying that socialism will always hurt the poor and whatnot. Can we start talking about how untrue these
Has it
sorts
been
of
tried
things
in
are about?
America yet?
Let's
Has
go.
it been tried here yet? Because the only shit that's been tried, sorry for my language, the only stuff that's been tried in this country is politics supporting corporate interests, not supporting working class people.
Who won?
And you guys,
No one officially
socialism
won,
has
but
it's not a dirty word. You know, like, there's these words that have been, there's so many words that have been co-opted as like tools of propaganda, and all that socialist, like, it's not a dirty word. It's literally using the resources of the wealthiest country in the world to make sure all of the people within it are taken care of. That's what
It's also not. There's many forms of socialism. For me, I understand, like, AOC and Bernie, and like our version here in America is going to look a lot like Norway or Finland, right? Which is like still capitalism, but with a robust social, socialism to lift people up.
Yeah. Like, that's what,
Yeah,
so
and
that's the one thing that we always talk about, that definitely I always talk about. And I think I've made posts to this effect, and I've been meaning to do another one. Socialism is not the opposite of capitalism. It's not. Most forms of socialism still have capitalism. They coexist. Like, you still buy in. A lot of people, for some reason, think that socialism means no money, or that no private property, no private ownership of stuff. That's not true. There is still private ownership in most forms of socialism. And when you talk about, like, the most base sort of description of socialism or definition of socialism is that, the workers own the means of production, or at the very least, the workers control the means of production. And that's still, like, inherent to that definition still means that there are workers producing products that they can then buy and sell. You know what I mean? It just means that, like, the people who are putting their labor towards the creation of value get to enjoy in the fruits of that labor more, and the creation of that value. But you still
live a dignified life.
But like literally, just by definition, that means, like, you're still selling things. You're just, like, you're just engaging. You're just benefiting a little bit more directly from the profits generated. That, like, it still involves capitalism. You still get to buy the shit you want to buy, guys. Socialism, it isn't gonna ruin your materialistic anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and socialist policies are already.
I thought he'd speak by now, so I have to go. But I love you all very much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you also. Thanks for coming up.
Bye.
Come back anytime.
You want to drop me down, or do you want me to?
It might be easier for you to do it from this setup. I gotcha.
Now, some people want to do the algo, if it helps or not.
I don't think it actually does anything.
Can I address this fool in the chat named Lane?
Go for it.
You're a big hater, bro. But guess what? You talking all that crap about AOC? She's pulling the exact same as Obama before he ran.
Sorry. Lane is saying that you'd be starving in a dictatorship. Okay, so you must be really against Trump. What does a dictatorship have to do with a democratically elected democratic socialist? Like, what does that have to do with that?
And we already have socialist policies in America, like Social Security, police departments, public schools, fire departments, public libraries. Like, these are all quote unquote socialist ideals that we use. So if you like any of those things, guess what? You like a socialist idea.
Exactly.
It's just all the propaganda has rotted their brain.
That's true.
You know, and we just want people to be able to work their job and support their families and enjoy the fruits of their labor without being constantly stressed. Like, you should not still be struggling if you are working a full 40 hours a week. You just shouldn't. You should be enjoying the fruits of your labor, and that can exist, just like Brenda was saying, within capitalism. That doesn't, if anything, just like she was saying, we're headed more towards a dictatorship now, because all of that wealth has been consolidated in a handful of people who are now controlling everything, and the democratic system is not working as it should.
Oh, sorry, Lane. Okay, hold on. So Lane says Nordic countries pay for public services with a market economy with astronomical taxes. Okay, Lane. So what do high taxes have to do with a dictatorship? Explain it to me like I'm 5.
Also, they get free healthcare. I'd be willing to pay more in taxes if I got free healthcare and didn't get charged $5,000 for a hospital ride.
My friend's from Denmark. He loves paying taxes. He wishes he could pay more taxes.
Yeah, because guess what? The taxes we pay don't go to anywhere except for building bombs to send to other countries.
But that's not, that too, sure, yes. But also when you calculate it, the costs that you end up paying in America for things like healthcare and just other stuff, you end up, let's actually, if your taxes in one country go towards healthcare, then let's also compare not just the taxes you pay in America, but also the amount you pay for healthcare in America. And you do pay for it, even if you get it from your employer. That is a set amount of value that you are now negotiating over as well, and you get taxed on the value of benefits you receive. Also, fun fact. So, I believe I'm 99% sure you get taxed on the honor of being entirely dependent on your fucking employer for your health insurance. But so let's calculate that. And when you compare the costs, when you compare how much Americans pay in taxes plus healthcare, just insurance, and even with insurance, you're gonna have out-of-pocket costs. It's not gonna cover everything, etc. You're paying more as an American than in most fucking countries that have slightly higher taxes but have things like universal health care. Period. I'm sorry, but I just don't see why that's, if you're going to compare it honestly and admit that we pay more in America. Just fucking do it. You know what I mean?
Well, they're not honest debaters.
Well, and it's the majority of that tax burden should be carried by the people who currently are not paying their fair share in taxes because of loopholes, all of this other stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the other thing that people don't.
We're the richest
this should be
country in the world.
Exactly. This should be funded by where the wealth is consolidated at the top, because they've been taking it from you. It's
corporate profits rise, and so does our prices. But every other country that doesn't even have the GDP equivalent combined can do all these socially funded programs, but we can't.
Yeah, I mean, and just one of the ways that they attacked Mamdani was talking about trying to come after him for him wanting to raise taxes, when all he was talking about was making the tax rate equivalent to New Jersey. The millionaires and billionaires were saying, oh, well, it's going to run, all these huge businesses out of New York. No, because how long has it been since New Jersey is a tax haven? They started off that way, but they've now raised their tax rate so that New York's is lower. So if he just raises it to the equivalent of what New Jersey's is, it's not going to drive anybody's out.
Yeah.
It's just common sense stuff that, people are distilling to a point. Conspiracies thrive in an environment where people don't understand, right? And
yeah.
So people
Well, also, I just wanted to add to that. Also, it's funny because, oh, hey, Serge. It's when you compare the tax rates, yes, it's higher in New Jersey now, the corporate tax rate at least. But at the same time, funny enough, I live in Brooklyn, and I have had so many friends recently have to move out to New Jersey, right, because of the cost of living crisis. And I mean, New Jersey is also getting really expensive because so many people from New York City are moving out there. But the irony being that's even though even though the taxes are like higher there, people are still fleeing New York City because of the cost of fucking living. And like that's another side to what he wants to address, the actual crisis, which is the cost of living crisis. New Jersey has the higher corporate taxes. Everyone's still going there because it's just cheaper to live there.
My aunt and uncle are moving from Queens to Connecticut because it's not realistic to buy a house there. It's not realistic.
Look at that joy on the screen. Look at that joy on the screen. They're hugging and cheering. That's so good.
I love it.
It's so good. Oh.
It looks like Andrew Cuomo has lost this.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I can't believe this.
Yeah.
This was a real grassroots movement. I mean,
and it
just in the fact that a couple months they were able to do this is incredible.
And it does not stop.
How did Andrew Cuomo lose this? There's going to be a lot of questions.
No,
Guys,
there's not that many questions. We know why he lost it. He's a terrible fucking candidate.
He was running on his last name.
Yeah. Literally. His entire fucking tactic for most of this was not like just hide. He hid for most of this election so that he couldn't be caught by reporters, journalists, anyone, and asked questions that he didn't like pre-approve, or he couldn't be put into a situation that wasn't like strictly controlled to be in his favor. Like that's what he did 90% of it until, of course, Zoran started eking out and started really, really presenting a challenge. And in the last like few weeks, he got an injection of millions of dollars from a bunch of fucking billionaires, and all of a sudden started not illegally.
Didn't he get a violation for the fundraising?
So he got he basically was denied matching funds because it was strongly it's strongly believed it's pretty like, you know, there's no like court case or anything like that, but it was strongly enough believed, the evidence was strong enough that he was coordinating with his super PAC. But that doesn't mean that the donations to the super PAC themselves were illegal. The coordination itself was technically illegal, and he dealt with the consequences of that, or he received the consequences. But of course, the matching funds that he was denied were around like $600,000, and meanwhile he was receiving millions from, you know, or the super PAC was receiving millions from his billionaire buds. So it was like a drop in the fucking bucket.
Is that Lander on the screen?
Also, shout out Lander.
That looks like shout out Lander.
Oh, even he looks happy. Like I hate to be like a parrot, like just saying the same thing over and over, but like, guys, take this win. Everybody in the chat, just take this win. This is so good.
You know what's funny, Elaine? People like you never address the fact that Cuomo's entire plan was to increase the police budget, increase it, and lower taxes. Where the fuck is the math in that? And how is that not more dictator-like? How is that not more like a dictator, that they're going to increase even more? Our police force, the NYPD, is larger than like many militaries in small countries.
They are literally militarized police.
Wait a minute. So, how did he win? I don't understand. How did he win? He was at 1% a few weeks ago, last week.
No, he wasn't. He was not at 1% last week.
But it wasn't giving him. But it wasn't. But what I was saying. But what I'm saying, he wasn't favored to win.
He was getting there in the last.
Was all fake. Not fake, but it was bloated. The polls bloated him.
Yeah, and in the last few weeks, they were neck and neck. They were neck and neck.
And his whole, like, I followed this election very closely, and the only policy I ever heard from Cuomo was the fact that he wanted to increase the amount of police on the ground. And if you've ever gone to New York City, you'll know that you see police everywhere, and I've never seen any of them doing anything.
I see them with assault rifles.
I've never seen them doing anything good, let's be clear.
Yeah, that's true.
There it is.
I hope that the National Democratic Party sees this as a sign that they need to be moving to the left and stop trying to appease to the Republican base.
Oh, they're not. We'll
see.
I mean,
Bill
I think
Clinton
we
endorsed
learned that
Andrew Cuomo.
doesn't work with the, Kamala's election. She tried to appease to centrists, and it very clearly did not work. The only way that Democrats or the left are going to get more voters is if we go further left.
Yeah, and I don't think that the
Innovation.
I don't think the Democratic Party, like the established, I don't think they took the same lesson from Kamala that
Yeah.
They
progressive
blamed it on trans people. Did you see Gavin Newsom's podcast? They blamed
Yeah, the
he's
subway
on there
takes guy.
talking to
right
freaking Charlie Kirk, being like, yeah, we did this too wrong. The DNC is so sad, and honestly, it's good. This is where progressive gained the momentum going into midterms, going into 2028. The Democratic establishment is at its weakest it's ever been.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna treat Zoran like a anomaly. They're gonna be like, we can beat him in the general. But the grassroots
I'm
are
saying
gonna
we
keep
don't
going.
know. We will see. We will see what they do. Hopefully they will learn from this. I think it's very possible that they'll just double down on the thing, but like we gotta here again. It's like I just disagree with just outright being like, well, the DNC will never change. We have to change it. We have to change it. And the way we change it is by doing things like this. It is difficult. And it's not going to happen overnight. And it's not going to happen with one primary. But slowly but surely, we have to change it. And just being like, well, it'll never change. Just like suggests that we don't have the power to change it. That's what I really don't like about language like that. Fuck the DNC, to be clear. Absolutely. Fuck the DNC. Fuck establishment Dems. Fuck, centrist, moderate Dems. Fuck the dinosaurs controlling the Democratic Party. Abso-fucking-lutely. But the Democratic Party is what Dems make it. And if we can, I consider myself an independent. I am registered as a Dem. But, if we, on the left, progressives, can view it as something that we can put the work in over many years to actually shift and change, we can actually, that is what is that sort of acknowledgement is what predicates actual conversations about how we change the DNC. As soon as you start saying the DNC will never change, it's like, okay, cool, pack it the fuck up and stop talking about it, because if you're not willing to try to change it, no one the fuck is. The party isn't going to change for us. We have to change the party. You know what I mean?
Can I say something to what you just said? I agree with you, but I also disagree. I think the establishment DNC are so corporate